So we have a 12-pound Wagyu brisket that we got from the butcher shop today.
Yeah, we do.
Really excited about this. This is going to be smoked in the Hasty Bake Legacy. I haven't done a brisket in the Legacy before, so this is going to be a new cook for me. But I'm really excited to give it a try. I've watched several YouTube videos from other guys that's been doing it, and I think I got an idea on how to tackle it, and I'm really excited about it. So got it seasoned here. I went with the Fiesta Brisket rub, the extra fancy brisket rub.
Extra fancy.
And I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the fridge and just let it just sit here and just kind of marinate all night with the rub on it.
Yep.
And in the morning we get up kind of early and get the fire going on the Hasty Bake. I got the charcoal ready to go, so all I gotta do is light it, get it to temp, and then we'll set the brisket on there and do a nice smoke on it all day.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna be really excited to see how this one turns out.
Thanks for your sacrifice for the Chiefs, babe.
You're welcome. This has turned out to be a fun weekend for A-Bomb Barbecue.
For barbecue.
Oh
yes.
Yeah. All right, guys, it is a rainy Saturday, and as we get the Hasty Bake Legacy 131 up to temperature, I wanted to go ahead and show you our brisket here. I went ahead and got it seasoned up last night using the Fiesta Brisket rub, and it's just been rested in the fridge covered all night. And we're gonna set this on the Hasty Bake and let it cook all day. And I'm really excited about this, and I hope it turns out great. This is gonna be my first brisket in the Hasty Bake. I've cooked briskets on my offset a few times. Don't often do them because it's such a large piece of meat, but I've really been wanting to give it a shot on the Hasty Bake, so we're gonna give it a go and see how it turns out. So once we get the grill up to temp, right now it's about 200. I'm trying to get it up to at least 250, and hopefully we can maintain around a 250 to 275 temperature all day on it. Okay, we've got the Hasty Bake kind of settling in right around 250. It's slowly continuing to rise, so we're gonna monitor this once we get the meat on there. It's been about 45 minutes since I closed the lid and letting it get up and maintain a temperature right there. So we're gonna be right in that range that we're shooting for today, and we'll just keep the vents adjusted, hopefully, and keep it around the 275 range. So let's go ahead and get our brisket on. I've already got a probe in here ready to go. All right, we're gonna set it right there. Oop, touch the grate. Right there in the middle of the grill. I'm gonna go ahead and let's get this probe in there. All right, I got a little tray of water right here that we're gonna put in the grill as well. Just try to help maintain some moisture. And I am gonna start a timer. We're gonna close the lid and let this guy cook. Really excited about this. I'm gonna be spritzing it, I don't know, about after the first hour. I've got a mixture of apple cider vinegar and a couple shots of Kentucky bourbon mixed in there that we'll spritz it with as we get going on the cook. I'm looking forward to this. So we are 1 hour into our brisket cook here, and I want to just show how well the grill is maintaining temp. So I got the thermoquad going with a temperature probe right there next to the meat. So great level monitoring of the temperature, and it's been right around 275 this entire hour. It actually just dropped a couple degrees since we've been standing here. But we're gonna go ahead and give it a peek, and I've got our spritz here. We're gonna go ahead and spray it down, and I just wanna see how everything is looking. So here we go. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. So there we have our meat probe. We have our probe back here that we're using to kind of monitor our grate cooking temp. And it is looking good. This is just a mixture of apple cider vinegar with a couple shots of Kentucky bourbon mixed in there with it.
Nice.
Yep. All right, it's looking really good. Will you smell that?
Oh yeah.
Smells good. All right, we're gonna close her up. Don't want to let the charcoal get too hot there with that blast of oxygen in there. So we're just gonna keep maintaining this all throughout the day. About every 45 minutes to an hour probably, I'll go ahead and do this, do a really quick spritz on it, keep it nice and moist. Hopefully start building a really nice bark across this brisket here. Yep, yep. So we're at the 4-hour mark on our brisket. It's running at an internal temp right now of 160 degrees. And right now the ambient temp is 264. So the Hasty Bake is doing really well. We're gonna go ahead and inspect it, spritz it again, see how it looks. Beautiful. It's doing great. So I'm going to keep checking this, guys, since we're at 160. Shouldn't be too long. We're going to be at least 165 to 175 is what we're shooting for. We'll pull it off. We're going to wrap it up, put it back on there to let it finish out and get nice and tender. So I was trying to give myself approximately 8 hours on this cook. It may not take that long, but we definitely want to let it rest for a couple hours too. So I was trying to time everything to be about an 8-hour window for the brisket and maybe even serving it up for dinner. Okay, so we're about 5 hours into our brisket cook now. We're gonna go ahead and pull it and wrap it up, put it back on there. I think it's finally getting to that stall period, so we're right around 169, 170 degrees, and it's kind of tapering off on the climb. So let's go ahead and get it off and wrap it up. Let's see how it looks too. Oh yeah, that's looking good.
That smell.
It's amazing.
It's one of the, I think it's one of my favorite things that I've smelled lately, cooking wise.
It really does smell amazing.
Am I in your way?
No. We can use our towels here to lift it.
Yeah, looks good. That's a big hunk of meat, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, for a Saturday, there hasn't been as many sirens today.
It's been a little bit quieter today than it usually is.
I wonder why. Yep. What you thinking about?
Just trying to find the cold spot. That's what I'm working on. Just about there, it's dropping. Remember, we were at about 170, so that's what I'm trying to find.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're doing pretty good. It continues to drop. We're at 172.
All right.
So it's about where it needs to be for the cold spot. I think I'm just going to look at it or leave it right there. Oh yeah, can you see the charcoal?
Yeah.
Still got lots of charcoal. All right. We're just gonna let it cook until we get it tender. Somewhere around the 201, 205 range, but really what you're looking for is the probe tenderness. So once we get it up to about that temp, I'm gonna go ahead and start checking it with the probe at that point. When we get it nice and tender, and then we'll transfer it to a cooler so it can rest.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
I'm excited about this.
Me too.
Did I mention how great it smells?
You have, and I agree with you. It smells excellent out here.
Yeah.
That beef fat
Yeah.
burning there.
Yeah.
Man, it smells so good.
Yes, it does.
So our brisket's been on here for 8 hours. It's actually just over 8 hours now. It showed an internal temperature of 205 degrees. So technically that should be done. So let's go ahead and give it a check. What I'm gonna do is use this meat thermometer here and just make sure that it's got dust off of it. I'm just gonna do this and just check it for tenderness. Hopefully it's gonna be probe tender. All right, so I'm gonna give it a few checks here and there. That feels nice and tender there. Going through the paper, but it feels nice and tender inside there where, yeah, it's going through there nice. And it's definitely, some of these places I'm probing is, you can see right there, 206, 205, 204, 203. And it feels nice and tender there. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it being done. I think it's worked out really well. Just over 8 hours, and it's been working really good over here on the Hasty Bake. So what we're gonna do is remove it. I'm just gonna stick it in the oven, and we're just gonna let it rest for a couple of hours, and then we will pull it out, carve it, and I hope that we have a delicious brisket to eat for dinner tonight.
I can almost guarantee that it is going to be.
And Abby wanted some of the brisket too to use in her barbecue beans, which she is making tomorrow.
Yes, I do.
That recipe calls for chopped brisket, so got to make a brisket.
Here we are. Thanks, babe.
Yep. So let me get my tray and we'll take it off there.
So it went about as long as you thought it would?
Yeah, I think it did pretty well.
Yeah.
It's not going to cook the same as when you're doing it over on like the offset smoker.
Yeah.
Typically those might run a little bit longer. With these grills like this, with the Hasty, it's usually a little bit faster of a cook time, but still yields excellent results.
Yes.
So I'm going to go ahead and just grab it like so. And we're just going to leave it wrapped up just like that. Boy, we got a nice, good seasoning layer inside that Hasty Bake, don't we? So I'm going to take this in. I'm going to go ahead and just clean that up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and scrape the grates here and just kind of get it cleaned up because we're going to be running this guy tomorrow also.
Yes, we will.
So we'll meet you inside in a little while whenever we go to slice in to our brisket. Oh, that bark looks pretty good.
Time out.
I thought you were filming.
I am filming and it's still going, but I had to. The lens was not very clean. And
Oh, you had your fingerprints all over it, huh?
it was not me. Could have been me. It was definitely me.
It was definitely you.
Dang.
Because I always clean it off whenever I get ready to use it. That bark looks pretty good. I was actually telling Abby earlier that I was disappointed that I don't feel that I got the bark like you traditionally see on brisket, especially like Texas style brisket.
He was disappointed.
I wasn't necessarily going for Texas style brisket. I just wanted to cook a good brisket. That's really all this was about. But that looks pretty good.
It looks better than good.
This is not going too well. It's kind of sticking at the bottom there.
Man, that's a great crust, babe.
Glad
That is
you
gorgeous.
think so. We are ready to slice into our brisket and see how this sucker tastes.
I cannot wait.
I just want to mention that I am in no way an expert on briskets. I've only done a small handful of briskets in my barbecue experience. And this is the first time that I've done a brisket on the Hasty Bake as well. So my initial reaction whenever I pulled it to wrap it up was that I was a little bit disappointed in the bark that I got on it, but I think that probably has something to do with a little bit of inexperience with the brisket, especially on the Hasty Bake. But I just hope it still turns out pretty good though.
I think it looks amazing.
Well, I think we all kind of judge them based on the kind of the gold standard, which is Central Texas barbecue. And when done right on an offset smoker, it looks absolutely amazing. So this has a pretty good amount of jiggle there to it through the center where the two muscles meet. So let's just go ahead and cut into it. I think we're going to go right about there. Ooh, yeah, pretty tender.
It's very tender.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah. This smells so good. Are you happy? Tell me.
Well, I want to taste it, but
Yeah.
it looks really, really juicy. Let's not forget this is a Wagyu, so I have never done a Wagyu. But there's one little piece right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. All right. We're going to cut a couple of the flat right here. So, according to the, I don't know, social media influencers out there, they say that you're supposed to cut this about 9/32 of an inch thick. It's supposed to be the prime thickness for brisket. Not 17/64 and not 19/64. 9/32 of an inch.
You're just going to eyeball it?
This was a bad choice right here. Yep, and I was going to eyeball it. So, my slice did not go that well. It's way too thick.
Looks great though.
I'm just doing the pull apart test right there. Yeah, I got it way too thick. You'd think I know how to cut something to the right thickness. Nice and tender.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're happy?
Mm-hmm. And that's the flat too. That's really good.
Okay, I'm turning this off because I need to try it.
Okay.
It was delicious, by the way.
So I don't feel like I'm doing the slice correctly here, but we both tasted it, and
It's amazing.
it really is.
It's
delicious.
amazing.
So
You nailed it.
I'm not going to cut any more of the flat, just that right there, because we definitely want to save some of this for the beans for tomorrow.
Yes.
But I'm going to cut enough for Abby for dinner. But I want to go back over here to the point, and I want to cut another piece.
This is
of
your
that.
honey hole over here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It really is. That little section right there is a little bit tough. Just that right there.
Look at all that fat. I do not like the fat in things, but that does look very cool.
All right.
I'm trying to just not throw up. And
It's good.
it's good.
Mm-hmm.
What about the bark? How are you feeling?
The bark is good, the bark that we have here, but I know that it could be better.
Okay.
But it really is good. The rub that we use, that Fiesta Brisket rub, is really good. It's got plenty of salt in it, so I can taste the saltiness, so we're not lacking that.
No.
I just think that there's definitely lots of room for improvement for the bark itself. I think it needs more pepper, because I really do like that Texas style with lots of pepper on there.
Yeah.
But I think it turned out fantastic. Look, you can see how juicy it is.
Let's go eat our dinner.
Yep.
We got some baked potatoes going.
Yep, we got
Have to
potatoes.
with brisket.
We got the mac and cheese.
And these are going to become my baked beans tomorrow.
That's right. We're going to chop this up, put in Abby's beans. It's going to
Yes.
be good. So overall, I think it turned out delicious.
Yes.
It really is good.
Yes.
Yeah,
But you know what? Let's try it again.
definitely. Let's do it again.
That's the best thing about barbecue, isn't it? Just keep
That's the
trying
only way
it
you
till
can
get
make
it
great
exactly
barbecue.
right. Yeah.
The only way to make great barbecue is to make bad barbecue.
That's
Because
totally
you learn
true.
from your mistakes.
That's true.
Or you learn what you did last time that you can improve to make it better next time.
You did not make bad barbecue.
It's good.
Just to say, yeah.
It's good. This is really good. This is way better than what I've had in a lot of restaurants. I'll
Agreed.
tell you that.
Agreed.
Yep. So,
Thanks, babe.
I enjoyed today though. We had a lot of fun.
Go Chiefs.